The council meeting for September 22nd, 2021. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Campbell,
Present.
Councilwoman Godaro, Councilwoman Wilson, Councilwoman Julian,
Here.
Councilman Stevens,
Here.
Vice Mayor Leon, Mayor Harris.
I'm present.
You have a quorum.
Please stand for the invocation, pledge of allegiance.
Most gracious God, we thank you for your grace and mercy towards us. We thank you for your many blessings. God, we thank you for all that you've done and all that you're getting ready to do for this great city that we call Miami Gardens. We ask now, God, that you give us your knowledge, your wisdom, and your understanding to help us to effectively go about with your business for your people. Father, we ask that you continue to bless the city and everyone that has something to do with it. All these things we ask in your Son's name, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let me see that, please. You got it back up? All right, thanks. All right, we're on order approval of any minutes we need. Got any minutes that need to be approved?
No, there are no minutes for council consideration this evening.
All right, we're on order of business. Are there any items that need to be pulled from the consent agenda or added to it?
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I do have some add-ons and an update to the council. For add-on, we have add-on item number 1. These were emailed to council members. Add-on number 1 is a resolution supporting residential area C4 educational initiatives. Without any opposition, we ask that this be added on to the consent agenda as 11.7. I mean 11.11, sorry.
Okay.
The next one is add-on number 2, supporting the Miami-Dade NAACP Youth Council. Without objection, we ask that this be added to the consent agenda as 11.12.
All right.
And the last one before council, before you on the dais is an update to item 11.3. We're just changing the title from Comcast to cable provider. And we just want to make sure the council is informed on this update to this item. 11.3.
I'd like to pull an item, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
I want to pull 1110.
11 who?
1110.
Short pull. Any other items that need to be pulled or deleted? Or added? I need a motion to adopt the minutes, or to adopt the. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. So we're on special presentations.
Item 6.1, Citizens Academy Special Presentation. This is sponsored by Mayor Rodney Harris.
I guess I'll. All right, we talk about providing information and providing the correct information to our residents. This year, we brought back the Citizens Academy. We had the opportunity to be involved with 11 wonderful citizens in our community. And Mr. Clay is going to come up and give a brief description of what the Citizens Academy was all about. And then tonight is their graduation. So, Mr. Clay.
More like Professor Clay.
All right. Well, good evening again, Mayor Harris, Vice Mayor Leon, members of council, Craig Clay, Deputy City Manager. 10 weeks ago, the members of this 2021 Citizens Academy set out on a journey to learn the inner workings of local government, their local government, the city of Miami Gardens. On the very first night, we set the stage. We provided a quote that said, "Nothing is more stirring than the recognition of a great public purpose. As citizens, we must strive to acquire knowledge and to apply it with wisdom." Over the course of those 10 weeks, they learned the difference between the various levels of government. They learned the steps of the policy cycle, and they received a heavy lesson in public budgeting and finance. From there, we took a deep dive into several of the forward-facing departments in the city: code enforcement, planning and zoning, public works, and development. I want to thank Manager Benson, City Attorney Dickens for coming in and doing wonderful presentations. Manager Benson about development and just about how we operate as a city. Attorney Dickens came in and talked about sunshine laws, ethics, public records. Most importantly, I would like to thank these members of the Academy who are sitting behind me for their attention, their diligence, and dedication over the last 2 months. I hope your classes were worthwhile, and hopefully you encourage other members of the community to enroll in the Academy the next time it is offered. Thank you, Mayor Harris, for bringing back the concept, and thank you for allowing us to participate. So at this time, I will award our graduates their diplomas.
I'm gonna ask the city manager and the city attorney to come down with us, please. And Mr. Clay, I need to say, I want to say thank you to you. Thanks to you for all your hard work and dedication to this class and to the Citizens Academy. You, Mary Lou, Kevin, and Nisha, you did a tremendous job at making sure that all these things that that took place, even they visit to Dania Beach Casino, we won't tell how many of them won money. But yeah, so we appreciate everything that you've done, Mr. Clay.
Okay, all right. We will give them in the order in which they're seated. And when I conclude, you will hear a few words from the class spokesperson, Ms. Providence. Ms. Bernice Belcher Miller. Let me read what the certificate says. A certificate of special recognition. This congratulatory certificate is awarded to Bernice Belcher Miller. On behalf of our 113,000 residents, the City of Miami Gardens is honored to recognize you for your commitment and dedication to the city through the completion of the Citizens Academy program. As you graduate from the Academy, it is our hope you will take with you all that you have learned and continue to make Miami Gardens a great place to live, work, and play. Congratulations. Keisha Boykin. Gail Olivia Cunningham. Howard Dupree. Arnita Hall. Mary Reeves. And last, certainly not least, the 2021 Citizens Academy spokesperson, Ms. Brenda Providence.
Thank you, Craig. Professor Clay. I'm nervous. For the last 10 weeks, we all ran every Tuesday to this class because we are all engaged in the city to begin with, but we were excited to learn what we didn't know. And it wasn't easy for Mr. Clay or anybody that came because we asked real questions. It was exciting going to meet all of the officers in the real-time crime center. That was really exciting and interesting to know that the city is being covered the way it is. So we appreciate that. And to the city attorney, we learned that everything that you want to do, you can't do. You got to go through certain things. To the city manager, we enjoyed Top Dog. And we got a chance to see things from your perspective. We got a chance to see how things are actually developed, how you decide what's going to happen when within the city. And we appreciate it. This is the best class I could have ever gone through with. Everybody here asked real questions, and we really care about the city. As Gail would say, our biggest investment is our home. So we are excited about what's going on in Miami Gardens, all of the great things that are coming. And now that we know what's going on, we can share it with other people, and we encourage anybody who wants to know more about the city to please take this class. We thank you for starting it again.
Guys, there's refreshments set up for you guys in the community room. You're welcome. Yeah, what we on? We still on special presentations? Yeah. All right, we're on special presentations by Vice Mayor Reggie Leon.
Good evening, everyone. Before we get started, I'm gonna invite Mr. Andy Ingram up. He's from the Bahamian Checkpoint, and he's gonna introduce some of the guests that we have here.
Sure. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Good afternoon, members. I see my good friend
Shannon from the Bahamas. It's always a privilege to be in the great city of Miami Gardens. My colleagues that are with me today, I'm sure they'll join me up here, is first a young lady that has done tremendous work in this community, leads the Bahamas effort. And I talk about none other than my Consul General, Linda Mackey. Linda, you want to join us up here? Consul General. Of course, her husband, Steve Mackey, and a gentleman that we hope most of you don't get a chance to meet is Nathan Butler, our liaison, customs liaison to the consul. Nathan, you want to join us up here? I run the Bahamas pre-clearance operation, and that operation is designed to expedite private aircrafts and charters by clearing them right out of the ports of the airport here. We're currently under negotiating with the Opa-locka Airport, where we hope to open a customs location there. We have one at the Executive Airport in Fort Lauderdale, one at the airport in International Airport. And we just started one at the but also we have one that we just at the Port of Miami, which is going to be at the old Chalks Air Force Base, Chalks Seaplane Base. I'm happy to announce that that center will be named after great Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. So Vice Mayor, we're happy to be here. And our Consul General always leads our mission here, and she's done a wonderful job.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's always a pleasure to be here. Miami Gardens is the home of many Bahamians, so we have a long history here. I'm excited to be here for this occasion, of which we will speak of later. But on behalf of the Bahamas government, we're delighted to be in your community. We share so much of what you share as a people, especially people of color. So we're delighted for the experience, the exposure, and of course, all of the wonderful opportunities afforded us here while I serve. So to Miami Gardens, I say thank you, and I'm happy to be here with you tonight.
Thank you. Okay, the reason why we're here today, I received a phone call from one of our residents. She had some family in town. The family became very ill. The family member that was here became very ill and needed some emergency dialysis. Being that she was a Bahamian citizen, she wasn't a citizen of the United States, they can only do but so much in the emergency room. So the person had to have dialysis in order to get strong enough to make it back home to the Bahamas. So I reached out to Betty Verbal. She owns the only Black dialysis clinic in the state of Florida, which is located right here in Miami Gardens. And without hesitation, she said, "Reggie, I'll do it pro bono." First of all, I reached out to the Bahamian consulate and found out to see what was in place for this type of emergency. This had never happened before. So we were all scratching our heads trying to figure out what we can do. And Miss Betty Verbal stepped up to the plate without any questions asked and performed dialysis. The lady made it back home to Bahamas last week, and now she's back with her family. So with that being said, I would like to present this award to Betty Verbal, First Prevention Dialysis Clinic, for an outstanding community service award. Thank you.
I just need to say thank you. Very, very few times you meet the person who looks at someone and realize, you ask the question, who is your neighbor? And we all know the story of the Good Samaritan, and there was no relation, there was no citizenship relationship, but she stepped up to the plate because she saw a need. And at the time, we had no way of assisting, but I actually didn't find it until about 2 days later. So we are most grateful for what you did for her. It was about 2 weeks, 2 months, almost? A month? Okay, for a whole month, she nursed her to health and allowed her to go back home, and we'll be forever grateful. It's people like you when God look, we know God is looking down and saying, you're an angel, so thank you.
Council General, members of the commission, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, I'm going to take this opportunity to bestow upon you the flag of the Bahamas. Truly, in friendship, you didn't bring one, but I took it off my jacket. And then you have to replace mine. So it essentially means recognition duty, or my old friend, city manager, Benson, will always recognize you as a Bahamian, and we're really deeply honored that you took the time to have one of our own. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor.
You're gonna join us for a vote?
Thank you. I see your city manager over there, known him a long time. Mr. Council General. Council General has a gift. He has a gift for you.
Thank you, sir.
Great job. Nice, time to go to work. All right, Mr. Clerk, we're on public comments.
Yes, we're on public comments. We do have some in-person comments. We do have some people on Zoom, and we have a written communication.
All right, I have two here. First person up will be Mr. Dupree, Howard Dupree.
While I'm here, I thought I'd take full advantage of my time. I want to speak against consent agenda items 11.4 and 11.5. If I remember correctly, the budget for the Juneteenth celebration was $80,000. If this funds that are proposed in this resolution is in addition to $80,000, I'm against it because we need to learn how to stay within our budgets. You all, talk about you are good stewards of the city's money, so let's stay within our budgets that are allocated. Same thing with 11.5. I don't know what the original budget was, but we're asking for additional monies. Fully against it. I think it was mentioned, somebody else wanted to hold some kind of women's conference or something. I think you told that individual to find in-kind donations or find sponsors or something like that. So on 12.1, in regards to the red lights, I want you to know that some of your citizens are in favor of the red light cameras. And I'm, for one, in favor of the red light cameras. I don't want to see them go away. I think they are a great deterrent for people to at least halfway try to drive correctly. I'm a victim. I've gotten a red light ticket before, but I only got it one time. And if an individual can't learn what they're doing wrong and they keep getting citations, then they don't need to be driving. And also, I think even though I think some of the cameras are being eliminated, we still, get funds from those red light cameras that I don't want to see go away. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dupree. Gail Cunningham.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Gail Cunningham, address 19001 Northwest 14th Avenue Road, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33169. Mission statement from the proposed annual budget document 2022. The vision of the City of Miami Gardens, Florida is to enhance the quality of life through the efficient and professional delivery of public services. We are committed to fostering civic pride, participation, and responsible development for community. I have identified items on tonight's agenda whose subject identifies with designated City of Miami Gardens advisory committees. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council persons. Are these advisory committees aware of their role, and are they actively advising you of the people's input, discussion, feedback, etc., and communicating with you and your staff as an advisory committee before an agenda cover memo is written and submitted for review and discussion? This is their role. For example, tonight item 11.2, Isaiah John Edwards Legacy Foundation Scholarship Gala. We have an advisory committee, Excellence in Education Advisory Committee. They have one member and membership positions are 7. Item 11.4, Juneteenth. There's a historic advisory committee. No members, membership positions unknown. 11.5, support of a past event women's exposition in FY 2021, Nuke Pro Tunk to December 2020. Commission for Women, committee members 7, membership positions 13. 12.1, discontinuation of the red light camera enforcement program. There is a citizen advisory committee, committee members 9, membership positions 15. It is your responsibility to recommend appointment of residents, your constituents, to advisory committees. These advisory committees is an avenue for communication through active input, feedback, interaction with the mode of advising you of the thoughts, actions, and responses and expectation of results of the residents and your constituents, our voices. Please, we again ask that we are heard through your proactive communication with the designated advisory committees. Please review all committees, recommend appointments where needed, and there are many. The advisory committees are designated to advise you. You, our elected representatives, you are the voices of your constituents, presenting, documenting, and actively following through on what thus says the people. Thank you, stay safe and vigilant. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cunningham. Any other public comments?
Oh, yeah, we have some on Zoom. The first we're going to call up is Sonia Flowers.
Ms. Flowers?
Good evening, everyone, again. My name is Sonia Flowers. I reside here in the city of Miami Gardens. Good evening to the mayor, Rodney Harris, Vice Mayor Reggie Leon, and to the entire council. I have 2 concerns. One is about the proposal for the red light cameras. I wanted to know, when was the last time these red light cameras was calibrated or serviced, and what company serviced these cameras? Second, I wanted to know, on the corner of the senior center located on 12th Avenue and 183rd Street, we need to put a sign up there saying no turn on red, no right turn on red. The reason for that is if you coming out of that senior center on 183rd Street, there's a big wall there that when you turn in right, you really can't see the oncoming traffic. So to avoid any crucial accidents at that corner, I would suggest that the council look into this issue and place a sign there, no turn on right, no right turn on red light, because it is a big issue there. Also, I want to congratulate all the class of 2021 Senior Academy. Kudos to them, because I was one of the first graduates. So thanks to all of them and good luck. Be safe.
Thank you, Ms. Flowers.
Mhm.
All right, the next speaker is Francis Ragu.
Mr. Ragu?
Yes, good evening to all. I'm here to speak in reference to 12.1, red light cameras in terms of the renewal of the contract. First of all, let me thank Councilwoman Iguodaro for having the fortitude to bring forward that topic, because many have promised to do so upon elected, but never came before. My opinion of the red light cameras as such, I do think that it could serve a dual purpose, public safety, and as well as generating revenue for the city. Just on Saturday night in driving on 441, I saw one person who was on the phone ran 2 red lights. And that one death as somebody a reckless driving, they should be punished. So my suggestion is do not throw the baby with the bathwater. Amend what we are looking at. Let us serve as a public safety. The first one, you get a warning. The second time, perhaps you should attend the class. And the third time that you are caught, and that's sort of running the red light, and each one thereafter, then you should be fined. Maybe we can waive the right turn on the red light, because that really don't endanger the life as much as someone running the red light. But I think it's something we have to be concerned about. Let's look at it, let's reevaluate if this can be done, so that way it can serve again as a dual purpose in terms of public safety first, whereby you get the warning. Secondly, you go to class to know, but reckless drivers should be punished. That would have prevented the death of those 3 people that 24-year-old killed down in the Southwest, because he was a habitual traffic offender, and 3 people die as a result of his reckless driving and not being penalized. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ragu.
All right, the last one we have is we have a written communication. This is for Brenda M. Providence, 2021 Northwest 154th Street. I'm in full support of televising public meetings in Miami Gardens. We have been asking for it for years, even in this technology age. For various reasons, some of our residents can't log into computers to watch or log into radio stations to listen. This will help to bridge the gap and encourage our residents to get involved. Thank you for all that you do, Ms. Brenda M. Providence. And that's all that we have for public comments, sir.
All right, showing that there's no more public comments is closed. We're on ordinance of first readings. There are none. On ordinance of second readings. There are none. No resolutions on the consent agenda.
All right.
Clerk.
Item 11.1, resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds to community organizations, high school varsity football programs, and crime watch organizations in the City of Miami Garden for adoption of representation provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Mayor Rodney Harris. Item 11.2, resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds for Vice Mayor Reggie Leon's public affairs account in an amount not to exceed $2,000 to support the Isaiah John Edwards Legacy Foundation Scholarship Gala, provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Reggie Leon. Item 11.3, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing city manager to negotiate with a a cable provider for the establishment of the City of Miami Gardens Public Access Channel 77, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian. Item 11.4, resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating $2,000 from Councilwoman Katrina Wilson Special Events Account to support the Juneteenth celebration non-pro tunc June 19, 2021, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Katrina Wilson. Item 11.5, resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating $5,000 from Councilwoman Katrina Wilson Special Events Account to support the Women's Exposition in fiscal year 2020-2021. No pro tunc to December 2020, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Katrina Wilson. Item 11.6, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, approving amendment number 2 to the Miami-Dade County Building Better Communities General Obligation Bond interlocal agreement for the Rolling Oaks Park, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and is sponsored by the city manager. Item 11.7, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the renewal of the agreement with the Florida Municipal Insurance Trust, FMIT in Paren, for workers' compensation, general liability, property, and casualty, and automobile insurance for fiscal year 2021, 2022, authorizing city manager to issue a purchase order in an amount not to exceed $1,821,829 for this purpose, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by the city manager. Item 11.8, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, awarding a bid to Anthony Brunson, PA, in response to request for proposal number 20-21-016, authorizing city manager to negotiate and execute an agreement and renewal agreement not to exceed $74,300 annually for 3 years for this purpose, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager. Item 11.9, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the third renewal of award of invitation to bid ITB number 16-17-033, asphalt roadway resurfacing, authorizing city manager to issue purchase orders not to exceed the budgeted amount, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager. Item 11.11, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from Councilwoman Katrina Wilson Special Events Account in an amount not to exceed the sum of $5,000 to support the residential area for educational initiatives, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Katrina Wilson. Item 11.12, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from Vice Mayor Reggie Leon Special Events Account in an amount not to exceed $5,000 to support the Miami-Dade NAACP Youth Council, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Reggie Leon, and that is your consent agenda.
Need a motion on the consent agenda? Motion. Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Showing no opposition, show the consent agenda pass.
All right, we're now on to item 11.10. A resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the piggybacking of the State of Florida Department of Management Services contract, DMS 12/13-007 for real estate services, non pro tunc to October 1, 2020, providing for adoption of representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager.
Councilman Leon pulled this item. Vice Mayor Leon pulled the item.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Manager, I was looking for the addresses, are we selling property or what are we doing with it?
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead, Mr.
Vice Mayor, yes, we will be in the process of selling property. Are you asking for the addresses of those properties?
Addresses listed, so I just want to get some clarity.
You have a,
Yeah.
Okay.
On this item, Vice Mayor, this is just asking for approval for us to piggyback the state of Florida contract. There are about 13 pieces of property that we are looking to work with, about 6 of them residential, 7 of them commercial. But prior to selling any property, we have to bring that back to council in the form of an ordinance. So you will see that, but we can certainly give you the list. I have it on a map and a list of the properties that we are looking to put on the market.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I just want to, I'm glad to know that before we sell property, it has to come back to us. I also want to just throw this out there, and before we aggressively look to sell property, we, the council, needs to put a plan in place. Because that would determine the direction in which we would like to go into the city, as a city. And if we're talking about selling off land, that would become a problem. So I definitely would like that we, at some point, have that conversation around the properties that we're looking to sell and all that other good stuff before we get to that point.
Right.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
This leads to my original comments in the meeting that we had earlier today. I think that we need a comprehensive strategic plan. Because if we don't know where we are supposed to be in 10, 15, 5 years, we can make some poor judgments today that are not rooted in a futuristic goal. And I think that it's time, since we are almost at this age of 20, that we have something, a roadmap, if you will, that allows and sets in place the will of this council, as well as what our residents can participate in, the whole 9 yards. Because even if something came before me right now, it might sound like a good idea, but the question is it in line with vision? Is it in line with where we should be going? The second thing that I would like to say is that you don't get more land. If we sell everything we got, then what values do we have? Particularly if it goes to private interest. So I'd like for us to take a look at that and really work to put together a strategic plan. As a matter of fact, can we put that down? Can I make some kind of motion or something that we develop a comprehensive strategic plan for this city? No, I mean, I know that may seem like it's funny, but it's not funny. It's really a very serious thing because we have no roadmap. We have no roadmap.
I don't think we need to do a motion for it. We can put together.
I mean, what's the process?
A workshop.
Well, Mayor, I think you have a motion to pass the item. And then if Councilwoman wants to do a separate motion outside of that, the one that's pending, we can have, I think you can move forward with that.
So it's actually 2?
Yeah, because we gotta.
You have a motion on the item.
So part of it is.
Huh?
Yeah, there's no motion on
Oh, I
that.
thought the Vice President, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could put together another workshop. We'll work on that, Mr. Clerk.
We're gonna work on what?
For a strategic workshop. We were supposed to have one, the very first workshop we had, but that wound up being something else.
Yeah, as long as we're not gonna talk about flyers.
Yeah, we can't,
We
if
have
it's gonna be a
we ain't gonna talk
strategic
about flyers,
workshop, we
we
gotta
can
have
do
a
it.
strategic workshop.
A strategic planning workshop
Yeah.
that is led by a strategic planning organization that comes in and does things for municipalities.
All right, so let's keep that in mind.
Really?
Yeah, keep that in mind,
So
because
now-
it turned out to be something else last time we scheduled it. All right, so any other questions on the item as it stands right now on 11:10? No other questions on that. I need a motion on the item.
Motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposition. Now you had a motion for
A strategic
a
plan.
strategic planning meeting. I need a motion on it.
No.
Huh?
When we say a strategic planning meeting, are we talking about like a workshop? Or are we talking about a motion that we develop a strategic plan and authorize the city manager to move forward with pulling together whatever it is that we need to have a strategic plan with the professional? That's what I want to make a motion for.
Okay, she made a motion on that.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Showing no opposition. Short pass.
All right. We're now on to resolutions. Item 12.1, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, directing the city manager to discontinue the red light camera enforcement program in the City of Miami Gardens, providing for instructions to the city manager, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and is sponsored by Councilwoman Shannon Godara.
Councilwoman Iguodala?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I bring this item before the council this evening, and it's self-explanatory and really based on the numerous complaints that I have gotten from residents regarding red light cameras. Without belaboring the issue, I move the item.
The item been moved. Any seconds? Showing that there's no second, motion failed.
All right, we're on a quasi judicial zoning hearing items. There are none. We're now on to the reports of the city manager, city attorney, and city clerk.
Mr. Manager?
Mr. Mayor, council members, I don't have a report, but I do want to say congratulations to you, Mayor,
Thank you.
on your baby grandson. Congratulations.
Thank you.
No report. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Mr. Clerk?
No report.
Mr. Stevens?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations to you and your family on your new bundle of joy. I have a few remarks, so y'all bear with me for a second.
A second.
First and foremost, my report is as follows.
Shara, put the clock on 2 minutes.
No, I'm a preacher. My office facilitated another elder abuse awareness fair this past Thursday at our newly opened Senior Family Center. Huge turnout, amazing, a lot of information that went out to our residents at the fair as it relates to safeguarding our community. Jesse Trice Center was on site to administer COVID and temperature checks. A numerous of community organizations participate to provide our senior community with resources and information to help avoid abuse, neglect for our elderly community. The same night, we continue with our Team Thursday initiative, myself and my colleague, Councilwoman Wilson, providing dinner to the football and cheer programs throughout our city. As you all know, Youth Awesomeness is a really big deal here in the city, and it's been an amazing ride being able to go to the different parks to provide dinner to our young people. This coming week, we would be at Scott Park. Tomorrow, we'll be at Scott Park, and we'll wrap up our Team Thursday at Dr. Lester Brown Park on next week, Thursday. On this past Saturday, my office also facilitated the Sickle Cell Awareness Workshop in partnership with the Advancing Sickle Cell Advocacy Project, as well as our state representative, Felicia Robinson. Again, this took place at our Senior Family Center. Local community organization and health providers attended to provide information and resources to combat the disease. Further programming is forthcoming from my office in the month of October. I would like to express my appreciation to our city manager and his team who worked diligently from the direction of the council to put together a balanced budget. Congratulations on that. I'm really excited that this fiscal year 2022 budget addresses issues that we're facing in our community as we talk about bettering and keeping Miami Gardens moving forward. The budget addresses public safety, infrastructure improvement, our parks and recreation programs, and just a number of things that we would take full advantage of as it relates to advancing our city. So again, congratulations and thank you to our city manager and his team for working diligently to put this budget together, and to my colleagues for your sacrifice as well. That ends my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens. Councilwoman Iguodaro?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening again. On last Tuesday, September 14th, I was excited to partner with St. Thomas University to premiere a docufilm theme, More Than a Village. And it was really to bring awareness to human trafficking. This is something that we see happening not just in our city, but in many cities throughout the world. And so I wanted to bring awareness, not just to Miami Gardens, but to have other cities look and follow suit. I see Chief in the crowd. Thank you very much for coming out with your team to support the event. I really appreciate it. And also, I'm inviting you to join my office for our regular scheduled Unity Virtual Town Hall, which is the first Wednesday of every month. So October 6th, I'm inviting you to tune in. We will be hearing from our city manager and staff to give us updated information on our budget and general obligation bond as we move into our new fiscal year. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, very quick, I want to, on behalf of our city manager, remind our community.
Go ahead.
Don't do me like that. Remind our community on this coming Saturday, the city would be hosting an Alzheimer's walk starting at the Senior Family Center at 7 a.m. in the morning. Is that the time to arrive, or is that the time it starts? Correct, to arrive at 7 a.m. for check-in and registration. And that's at our Senior Family Center. Please come out and participate. It's going to be a great day. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Sure you're done?
I'm done.
Okay. Councilwoman Julie.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let's not forget that Haiti still needs our help. And so we have a earthquake relief drive that is taking place now up until October 15th. Items can be dropped off at the police department. I urge you to only provide those items that are listed on the list that has gone out. Do not put anything that is not on that list. And so just to give you an idea, we are collecting tents, air mattresses, sheets, medicine. And so if you'd like more information, you can reach my analyst, Natalia Ali, at 305-622-8000, and her extension is 2709. I also sent a letter to President Biden yesterday urging him to look into the situation of Haiti, not just investigate the mistreatment of the Haitian people at the border, but to allow due process. And you can be humanitarian while allowing the Haitian people due process. So I ask that you all stand in solidarity with Haiti, because those images are gut-wrenching. I just need people to start normalizing humanity again. We just want to be treated with human decency. That's all I ask. So I encourage you to write or call your congresspeople and senators and tell them to do what's right, to do what's just, and to do what's fair. We're all in this together. I'd like to thank our city manager, our city attorney, our city clerk, and the administration for your hard work over the past couple of months in putting together this budget. We, the council, had many of requests, and our requests were heard. And you all worked night and day and night. I was here on some weekends and seeing some of y'all cars here, and your hard work really, really showed. So thank you so much for all of your hard work. And I want to thank the residents. I make it a mission of mine to read everything that comes across my desk and to read every single email. And when I get these emails from the residents who keep us abreast about what's happening in the neighborhoods, who are keeping an eye on public safety, who are calling us to tell us about the challenges, that they may be facing or that their neighbors may be facing, or to even call us and congratulate us. I want to say thank you, because we, the council, cannot do this job alone. So to the residents, you are appreciated, and I want to say thank you, and let's continue fighting a good fight to help take Miami Gardens to the next level of prosperity. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Julie. Councilwoman Campbell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I want to offer my condolences to Jamal in the passing of his mom. So I want to make sure everybody's on notice about that, and I'm going to be sending my prayers out to him and his family. And I ask also that you continue to keep my dad in prayer. He's going in for some major surgery on Monday, so keep him in prayer. And that's much needed in our family right now. And then on a positive note, I want to thank all those that came out to the entrepreneurship experience, because it was just that, an experience. And I thank all of my colleagues. You just don't know what that meant to me, to see every single one of you on deck. That touched me, and thank you, I appreciate that. And Madam Attorney, I appreciate you coming out to be a part of the experience, I really do. And also our state rep, Felicia Robinson, was in attendance. Everybody was on deck. And whoever was a part of it, I don't want to start calling names because I might miss somebody. You know who you are. Two men, and that is my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Wilson.
I again would like to echo the sentiments of my colleagues as we praise the staff of the city of Miami Gardens under the leadership of our wonderful city manager, deputy manager, our city clerk, and our illustrious attorney. All of you are consummate professionals, and the people that are part of your team demonstrate the same thing. And again, I learned a lot during this budget season, and it was an excellent process that you guys put us through, and you educated us and informed us so that we could make strong decisions. And I appreciate you for not only your professionalism, but your patience, because it takes a lot to educate the uneducated. And I consider myself in many ways uneducated about so much with the budget process. So it was very, very clear to me, and I want to thank you for that. I want to also say that we had our Meet Me Sundays at Myrtle Grove, which is a special Meet Me activity that I am doing as Myrtle Grove Park comes under renovations. And again, on a Sunday morning, the city manager and the deputy manager, along with my colleagues, were there to meet with the residents with me. And I appreciate that so much. And we had great conversation, good understanding, and it was another example of what community does when it gets together for the right reason, under the right circumstances. It also illustrates that when you respect one another, that ideas and good things can flow through. And so that respect and common dialogue was important. I had on my desk when I came in today, Live Healthy Miami Gardens. And although it is a name of a program for us, it really is a commandment. Where living healthy has to be something that we all attempt to do every single day. And so sometimes when life does in fact come to an end, it's a very hurtful and painful process. So I am asking for all of you as a family of the city and for the many families that are in our city to pray for my legislative aide, Jamal Ingram, and his family, as he lost something very, very precious, and that was his mom. And so he is a trooper, but anybody who has ever experienced that understands the heartbreak that is very, very real. And so I would ask for you all to pray for him and to lift his family up as they go through a very difficult process of closure. And I also would like to say that with my colleague, I feel you with your countrymen in Haiti. It is a very difficult thing that they also are going through. I shared with her that during Hurricane Andrew, that I was homeless, that I lost everything I had. My house was destroyed. And I remember thinking to myself when the American Red Cross truck drove up, that without them, I would not have eaten. And I had a 3-year-old son at the time that had it not been for the generosity of people from around this country, I would not have been able to clothe him. So when we think about the goodness of the Lord in our lives and how we are overflowing in abundance, if you can find it in your heart, if you can find something in your home that you can give to a people that are crossing in streams and waters to know the democracy that we live every day, trust me when I tell you, you will be blessed. You will be blessed. So, Councilman, I look forward to seeing you Thursday as we feed the beautiful children of the city of Miami Gardens. That ends my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Wilson. Vice Mayor.
Good evening. I'd like to say thank you to the city manager and the director for our community connection meeting. It was outstanding and very informative. People really appreciated that presentation that they got. Get a better understanding of the city. Also, this Friday from 9 to 12 at Holy Family, I'll be hosting a farm share. So you know those people in need, you can send them out there. That's Holy Family off of 7th Avenue and 185th. That's Holy Family off of 7th Avenue and 185th, farm share. Again, like I said, I want to thank the city manager and all of his directors for putting together a wonderful presentation for my community connection meeting. And also, let's make sure that we continue to push our vaccine and COVID testing site. The numbers are coming down slightly, but that's because we're up in vaccinations throughout the state of Florida. So knowing your status is very important. That way you don't affect anybody else. And lastly, public safety is very near and dear to my heart. So Mr. Manager, I'm gonna ask that every council meeting until we get those 19 slots filled, that we get an update on where we are and how we can help to get some people in those positions. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. I think let's keep everybody in this city and in this country and other countries in prayer. A lot is going on in the world. A lot is going on around us. We have to continue to love each other. We have to continue to understand that there's going to be heartaches and hardships, but we have to overcome. Yesterday I was in Southern Nevada, and the respect that they gave us out in Nevada about the things that we are doing here in Miami Gardens was incredible. So people around this country have eyes on this small city, and we need to make sure that not only that we don't let them down, but we don't let our residents down. Let's continue to be fiscally sound. Let's continue to be caring for our residents. And then I have to say to our residents and those that visit our city, we have to find a way to continue with public safety, especially as it concerns speeding and people running red lights. This past weekend, we had an incident right there on the corner, 27th Avenue and 183rd Street. Someone lost their life. On 441, somebody lost their lives. So let's keep those things in mind, and as much as we can do to get out and spread the word about being responsible when you're driving those vehicles, let's do it. Miami Gardens is doing great things. Very proud to be the mayor of Miami Gardens, but I'm more proud of being a resident of Miami Gardens. I want to thank our manager, the entire staff of this city, because I always go wherever I go and brag that we have the very best city employees in the entire world. And I don't hesitate, and I'll stand up for it. I'll fight for you guys. And let us just keep on working hard as we approach a new budget and a new year. Keep those things in mind, that we have to continue to work hard for the residents of this community and for our future children of this community. I got a brand new grandbaby, another little boy, so two boys and a little girl. Now They trying to make me old. Trying to make me old. But it's a joyous thing. I haven't had the opportunity to see the little baby yet because I was out in Nevada. But I will get a chance to show him some love as well. So thank you guys for your prayers, and let's continue to love on each other. Thank you. I need a motion to adjourn. It's been moved and seconded. All right, meeting adjourned.
What's up, sir? The deacon in the back.
No, that's the deacon right there with his